Greetings, Twitter, X. I wanted to pop in on you guys live today. Um, Given the situations that have arisen yesterday with respect to um, Israel, the attack, the Hamas attack, or Hamas, I guess you can pronounce it that way, attack. Um, Sad situation. My prayers go out to the nation of Israel, all those that suffered the loss of loved ones, injuries, and the attacks. Those that are being held prisoner, may God have mercy on them and open a way where there is no way for them to be released, be free, and return to their loved ones. Basically, it's not a situation that is, not. But basically, it's a situation that I don't think anybody deserves to go through. Um, Israel has declared war on Hamas, and they're even planning on attacking Gaza, I believe, in retaliation. It's a very tense situation, and I think as Americans, we should keep them in our prayers. We should think about them. We should, sit back and really contemplate what's going on. A lot is being said. There has been said since the attack yesterday, and a lot of stuff that, unfortunately, I've seen that has turned this situation into a political argument, and it's kind of the reason why I decided to go live today, because yesterday I had been following the situation in Israel and the commentary that's been arising not only directly from there, but from respected individuals here in our country as well. And there was some things that it really did not hit me well, for the simple fact that it's easy to tell when something is more likely true than not, because of the fact that there is evidence to back it up. And that's kind of the reason, as I said, I wanted to go live, because I wanted to, give my view as to what I believe, and also make an apology, because I think in part the individual that I have in mind may have. I want to put it loosely. They may have received some collateral damage because of some actions that I took. I don't know if that's truly the case, but either way, I want to extend an apology if that were the case. Yesterday, as the news about Israel began to progress throughout the Twitter sphere, there were a lot of conservatives that started talking about the money, because if you remember, a few weeks ago, President Biden issued $6 billion in humanitarian aid to Iran. And given the situation yesterday, a lot of people are saying that, Biden actually paid for the attack on Hamas with the $6 billion. And it was quickly responded not only by the media itself, but by key figures from within Washington, from within the White House, on Twitter, on X, that in fact the money has not been touched, it has not been spent. And I haven't. Other than the words from these individuals and the news reports, there's no other physical evidence to support what that is a fact. But given the preponderance of media coverage on it and the preponderance of information that has been put out from the White House, it stands to reason that what they're saying is legitimately true. Now, there's been a lot of conservative people, celebrity people, that have come out and said, well, the $6 million was paid to Iran. Iran used it to fund Hamas. But these people have not offered any evidence to support what they are saying on the web or in social media. And upon seeing these people repeatedly say the same thing, I'm like, well, if you're so sure about this, prove it. So what I did was I went and I took screenshots of a certain news report from Fox News, and my intention was I used it to basically, my intention was to get these individuals to vilify their statements, to be able to prove that what they're saying is legitimately correct. So I would, whenever they would post that Biden gave the $6 billion to Iran for the Hamas attack, I mean, I would come back and respond with statements to the effect saying that is incorrect according to multiple reports, including Fox News and directly from the White House. I think I said in a few of those, the money is safely in a Qatari bank under U.S. oversight or under Qatari oversight, and it's only to be released for purchases related to humanitarian aid. And I would post these particular screenshots of the detailed report as given by Fox News Channel and its reporter Jennifer Griffin. Now I want to apologize to Mrs. Griffin on my live feed right now, because if any of the pushback that she got was a result of people seeing my responses to these individuals, it was not my intention for it to go that far. But apparently it seems to have, and she has resorted to blocking certain individuals that I've from the posts that I've seen that were people that I may have posted in response to their statement about the $6 billion. It was not my intention to create that headache by any means. To those individuals that have been pushing against her, I say that it's uncalled for, it's unjustified, and if these individuals have the hard evidence to claim what they're saying on their Twitter feeds, my suggestion or my demand to them is put up or shut up. Show on your Twitter feeds the hard evidence that you have to substantiate what you're saying is true. If you're going to argue this, then you need to argue with something to back you up, plain and simple. If not, stay silent. You know why? Because all you're doing by quoting and by saying things that are not factual is you're stirring the freaking pot. You're stirring the pot, and you're aggravating people to believe in something that isn't true. And right now, given the state of affairs in Washington, with the House paralyzed, with the situation in Israel the way it's going, and the situation in Ukraine, we don't need to be stirring the pot and agitating our American citizens with statements that have no basis in fact, no basis in reality. Why are we trying to stir the pot? Why are we trying to create further aggravation and agitation right now, given the state of affairs worldwide? It's ridiculous, it's stupid, and I think it's uncalled for. And those of you, those that know who I'm talking about, I'm talking to you. I believe it's time that y'all take a step back. If you're not gonna do it for yourselves, do it for the public. You know, because I believe that the public if you want to prove your case, you need to show the hard evidence, and you need to prove yourself so that the American public can vet what you're saying as truth and make their own decision. Plain and simple. I think that's what needs to happen. You know, it's frustrating to see the same agenda being pushed when in fact there's no factual basis to support their claims. It's aggravating. It pissed me off because I would get on my Twitter feed and see 6 individuals, and we're talking about public celebrities, sort of news media celebrities, pushing the statement that Biden's $6 million paid for the Hamas attack, and seeing multitudes of American public, I don't know, responding, saying that's not true. That's not true. Let me ask, what is the objective of these so-called individuals that they would push a factless statement simply because they don't like the president, they don't like the party that he is with? If you don't like it, that's your deal. That's your deal. But you don't have to be going on the web and bad-mouthing the guy, especially with something that you know for a damn fact is not true. I don't know what to think of it anymore. That's my opinion. Every time I think about it, I get pissed. I get frustrated because I'm like, seriously. And a lot of times I see these guys talking bad about the president or about a certain individual, and I don't really think nothing of it, But when I see this particular scenario where I actually saw the reports, I actually read what certain individuals from the White House directly posted on their respective social media feeds, and I know for a fact, based on everything that I've seen, that what they're saying is more likely to be true than not. And then see politicians, elected officials, news media personalities, spouting a falsehood such as that the money was spent for the attack. Knowing for a fact that what I read is more than likely true. It gets aggravating. It gets frustrating because you want to believe something is true, and then you see all the pushback, and you're like, "What the hell? What the freaking hell?" Plain and simple. To those news media personalities, to those politicians, you know who you are. I tell you, cite your evidence. If you have hard evidence, publish it on your Twitter feed, on your social media feed. Prove what you're saying is true. If you can't put up, then shut up. Plain and simple. That's all we can do at this point. But basically, the evidence is clear as far as the preponderance of the reports in the news that have come out, that the money, and I'm repeating this verbally on video, the money that was given for humanitarian aid is sitting in a bank in Qatari, in a Qatari bank, and it is under U.S. Treasury oversight. It cannot be released unless it's for a purchase of humanitarian aid, which has to be validated by the U.S. Treasury. And another thing also is that people have said, "Oh, that's taxpayer money." It's not taxpayer money. It never was taxpayer money. And unless you can prove that otherwise, that fact is not a fact. It's fiction. That's all I had to say. I wanted to extend an apology to Ms. Jennifer Griffin at Fox News because if any of the any of the pushback she got was as a result of my using her Twitter feed as the screenshot of her Twitter feed as a the news report to substantiate correcting these individuals. My intention was never to cause her any grief or any frustration or to that point where she would have to block somebody, but I think my mindset was if I used a conservative news, well-known conservative news media outlet as my proof, then these individuals that are posting these false remarks would have to think, switch back and think back for a minute and say, okay, wait a minute, because a lot of from my experience, a lot of these conservative news media personalities and politicians, they refer and they speak more on Fox News than they do any other news media. And if I would have used another media such as, let's say, CBS News or ABC News or CNN, they would have said, oh, you're using a liberal news media to prove your point. That was my intention, was to use something that I know for a fact was conservative, because I wanted them to see that I wasn't relying on anything that could be labeled as liberal or democratic media. I wanted to hit them in their home court with something that they know is conservative. And unfortunately, I think part of the pushback that this lady got at Fox News was probably in part because of my doing, and for that I apologize. I think it's a matter of actually hitting these people with the truth and making them realize that they're wrong, and denouncing them before whatever they say ends up being used. Because I think the objective here is that we don't want these people to motivate our American citizens into believing something that is not true. We're not, basically, we're trying to stop them from, I guess you can say, as I said earlier, from stirring the pot. I don't think that that's called for, especially with all the stuff that's going on right now with Israel, with Ukraine, with, there's a lot of stuff going on, We have the House of Representatives is paralyzed right now without a speaker. You got Republicans that were trying to do an impeachment inquiry on the president. You've got the former president in fighting indictments left and right, and all these factors are factors that are causing these particular peoples to stir the pot and try to really turn the people against those that they themselves have a negative feeling toward. This it makes no sense to me why, our nation right now is as politically energized as it's ever been, and I think, pushing them to the extremes, it's instead of being a benefit to the country, it's going to make it more of a disaster, going to create more of a conflict than a benefit. And I think it's time that those that have the facts, those of us that have an open mind, we need to confront these individuals head on and make them prove themselves, make them understand that what they're saying is not factual. That's the only approach I think that we can give, because if we don't say anything, then who's going to say anything, and how are we gonna stop these people? That's my rant for the day. That's my open point of view for today, is that these individuals that are speaking factless information or they're speaking disinformation, they need to Number one, they need to stop. Number two, they need to make sure that if they're going to spout a certain piece of information, that they need to have the proof to back it up and publish that proof on their social media threads so that people can verify, and validate what they're saying as truth or as falsehood. That's the correct way to approach it, I believe, and I think that's what needs to happen. Is the public needs to be the one to make the decision. But if you're gonna have the public make the decision, then you need to provide your proof and evidence and information to substantiate your claim, so that the public can make a better informed decision. Well, that's all I got for today, and I just thought I would drop that on you guys. I kind of felt a little bad when I saw what this lady over at Fox News was having to do by blocking people. Like I said, it was not my intention for it to get that far, and I hope that a lot of this was not necessarily my doing, but if it is, I am truly sorry. That was not my intention. Well, thank you. Good afternoon. I may come back live here in just a bit again. I'm still monitoring the news, monitoring the social media feeds, and we'll keep each other posted. Thank you.